Welcome to AD Mathematics, and in this video we are going to look at equality of surds. Now we say two surds which are of the form, one is a plus root of b, and then the other of the form c plus root of d. We say these two surds are said to be equal if a is equal to c and then b is equal to d. For example, let's say I have 7 plus root of 10 is equal to 7 plus root of x. Now, when you are being asked to find x, you can use the simple law equality of surds, that two surds are said to be equal when this part is equal to this part, and then this part is also equal to that part. So now this 7 is equal to this 7. Now this root of 10 should be the same as root of x. So our x is equal to 10, right? Now, how do we apply this, or what are some of the applications of we understanding equality of two sets? Now, there's an example. It says we have to find the positive square root of 49 minus 12 divided. Before we proceed with this question, I would like us to revise something we learned in the previous video. In the previous video, we look at conjugate of set, where we said if you have a set, let's say root of a plus root of b, its conjugate is given by root of a minus root of b, and that anytime you multiply a set by its conjugate, you transform it from being a set to becoming a rational number, right? Now, what about when we make a set by itself? Have you ever wondered what's going to happen? Let's look at that one. So let's say we have root of a plus root of b multiplying itself. Root of a, plus root of b. Now what are we getting? Let's expand this. I always say you take this first expression, so we take root of a, and then we multiply it by this whole expression, root of a plus root of b. If you don't understand what you are doing, you can look at the previous videos. I've already taught this. And then you come and take root of b. We are just expanding. So if you know a simple way of expanding, that's good for you. And then multiply by the whole of this, root of a plus root of b. Now, then what is root of a times root of a? The answer is a, right? Because we said for sets, when you're applying, we are going to get a times a, giving you square root of a squared, and square root of a squared is the same as a. Okay, so we take root of a by root of b, get root of ab, right? Yeah, if you understand multiplication of set, which I have taught in previous video, I think you get this one. Plus, then you take this one, multiply by this, we have root of ab. Then you take this one, multiply by this, we get b. The same thing for the a, right? Now, we've seen that this is a set, this is a set, this is a rational number, this is also a rational number or a whole number, whatever. It may not necessarily be a whole number, but it is always a rational number, right? So we can combine them, can combine a and b. So we say a plus b here. And then what is square root of ab plus square root of ab? Notice set is also, any set you find is also a number, right? So it's more like I'm saying x plus x, and then we say we have 2x, right? The same way, root of ab plus root of ab is going to give you 2 root ab, which is 2 times root of ab. If you still want to use addition of sets, we have 1 root ab plus 1 root ab. And per the properties of addition of sets, we said take the rational part. So we take this one, we add it to this one, and then we write one of these, right? 1 plus 1 is 2, we have 2 root ab, right? So that's how come we have 2 root b. Now, notice this was the expression root of a plus root of b multiplying itself, and then we have this final expression. Now, what can we conclude about this final expression that we have? We can say this one is a rational part, and then this one is a set. So anytime you multiply a set by itself, you are going to get two expressions, one in the rational form, the other being a set, right? itself, root of A minus root of B, you end up getting, if you follow this step, I think you are going to get A plus B minus 2 root AB. Yes, I think you are going to get this one. If you really follow the steps, you are going to get this one. So it's the same thing. So just that when here is minus, this one will change to minus, and if it is positive, you maintain it. That's it. So now we are using that idea. Now the question we have is finding the positive square root of this expression or this number, 49 minus 12 root 5, right? So it's more like you've been asked to find square root of 49 minus 12 root 5. Now, what can we say about the final answer? Okay, let me use this so that you're going to get it. Now, imagine that you have an expression. You have a squared is equal to 4, right? Now, if you know that a squared, a is a certain number, you don't know, a certain number squared is going to give you 4. Then when I ask you, what is the square root of 4? You can conclusively say it is the same as a. Why? Because let's see, a squared is equal to 4. Let's find the square root of both sides. We find the square root of both sides. We have a is equal to square root of 4. Now, do you get the connection now? In this way, we have a rational part and then the said part, right? And now, look at what we did here. Sorry. Look at what we did here. We said anytime you have a set and then you multiply that set by itself. So we were having a set, say square root of A minus square root of B. Now when you multiply that set by itself, in other words, when you square that set, you are going to get a set of the form A plus B minus 2 root AB. This is the rational part, and then this is the third part, right? Now, when you have 49 minus 12 with 5, can you see the connection? This is the rational part. This is the third part. What can we conclude? Then we can conclude that this square root of 49 minus 12 with 5 that we are going to find, it is of the form square root of A minus square root of B. You get the connection now? Because when I have this expression, when I have square root of A minus square root of B and I square it, it is going to give me a number of the form A plus B minus 2 root AB, right? This is a rational part. This is an irrational part, right? So now if you square, okay, so let me make it more clean. We are saying we are finding the positive square root of 49 minus 12 root 5, right? This is the number that we have, and we are being told to find this one, square root of 49 minus 12 root 5. Sorry. Now, you know that when I square this one, I'm going to get this, right? Very good. So we are saying, then, let the square root of 49 minus 12 root 5 be of the form square root of A minus square root of B, such that when we want to return to this state, we can say let's square both sides, right? Now, when you square this expression, you are also going to get this same thing. I really hope you are making the connection. We are reasoning from basic principle. In that, when I have a set and I square it, I'm going to get a rational part and a third part, right? So we are using that idea. Okay, if you don't understand, you can ask any question in the comment section. So now let's move on to our solution. So we have 49 minus 12 root 5. This is the question that we've been asked to find positive square root. So now logically we can conclude that our final answer is the same as will be in the form a certain number, square root of a certain number minus square root of another number. This because here is minus. Better still, you can use plus. You are going to get the same thing when you are doing a comparison. Yeah. So let's stick to this one because there is a minus here. We are going by that. Now, okay, so now what we are going to do is to use the idea that if two sets are equal, if two sets of the form a plus root of b, if it is equal to c plus root of b, then a must be equal to c and then b must be equal to b. That's the principle we are going to use. So now the best thing that we can do, the first thing we are going to find the positive square, as I said, is to just write it this way. Say that is your final answer is always in the form root of a minus root of b. If here was plus, we would have written root of a plus root of b, right? So now the next thing is let's square both sides. So we square both sides of the equation. So we have 49 minus 12 root 5 square root of this one all squared to square root of minus square root of b all squared. Now this one I've already told you that the square of a number, the square root of the square of a number is going to give you that number itself. So here we are going to get 49 minus 12 root 5, right? And then being equal to, let's expand this one. I think we've already done the expansion here. We've done it here. Sorry, my screen. Sorry, let's do it again. I think we had, but okay, let's do it again. Root of a being multiplied by root of a minus root of b, and then this is minus root of b, right? Minus root of b multiplied by root of a minus root of b, right? So let's expand it. We get this one times this, we get a. This one times this, we get square root of ab, and then this one times this, we get square root of ab. This one times this, we get b, right? So it's a plus b minus 2 root ab. Addition and subtraction of sets. According to you, there is one here, there is one here. So we factorize ab out, and then the remaining will be negative 1, negative 1. We sum them up, we get minus 2. So we say 49 minus 12 root 5 equal to a plus b minus 2 root ab. Now, can we use the principle of equality of surds? Yes. Here we can see this is a rational part, this is a surd part. And interestingly, on the left side of the equation, we have a rational part, and then we have the surd part, right? Okay, so we compare, then we conclude that therefore this a plus b here is the same as this 49, must give us 49. So let's call this one equation 1. And then this 49, sorry, this negative 12 root 5, say minus 12 root 5, should be the same as minus 2 root ab, minus 2 root ab. So now what can happen? This minus can cancel this minus, and then this, we can divide both sides by 2. So we have 6 root 5 is equal to square root of ab, right? And we can say for us to get rid of the square root, let's square both sides of the equation. So we square both sides of the equation like this. Now when we do that, you are going to get this squared and this squared. What is a squared? Is 36. Multiplying, what is square root of 5 squared? Is going to give us 5. Being equal to, what is square root of ab squared? Going to give us ab, right? So now let me point this on my calculator. 36 times 5. I'm having 180 is equal to ab. Let me call this equation 2. So now these are my equation. Let me write it with the right way. I have a plus b is equal to 49, which is machine 1. I have ab is equal to 180, which is equation 2. Okay, here someone can say, let's make A, the subject from equation 2. So when we do so, this is the equation. When we do so, we have A is equal to 180 over B, right? Let's call this 3, equation 3. So now, what are we getting? We say, then putting equation 3 into equation 1. I'm not supposed to do this with you because you are not learning simultaneous equation. I presume you already know, but if you don't know, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to use and then learn. Okay. Or if you have any method that you can find A and B, that's what you are doing. You want to find A and B, right? So now, let's see. Where we see A in equation 1, we replace it by 180 over B. So we say this is A. So 180 over B plus B is equal to 49, right? This one, we can multiply through by B. So we multiply through by B. We have 180 over B. So that we get rid of the B. Okay, times B plus B times B is equal to 49 times B. So this B can cancel this B. We have 180 is equal, 180. We have 180 plus B squared is equal to 49B. Excuse me, right? So now, we have a quadratic equation, and a quadratic equation is always of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are all constants, right? So what is our squared? So in this equation, our x, we don't have an x, we have b. So you can say a quadratic equation of the form ab squared plus, sorry, there is b here, don't worry. If I use that, you get confused. So yeah, so this is b squared. So we bring it here, b squared, and then we bring this one to the other side of the equation. When it crosses, we get negative minus 49b, and then this is 180 plus 180 is equal to 0. Here we are solving a quadratic equation. In subsequent videos, I will do video, so don't worry. But for now, I understand. Now, when you anytime you quadratic equation and then you have to find the root of the equation, basically what you have to ask yourself is that what two numbers must I multiply to get 180, and then if I add them, I will get 49. Yes, and the answer is 45 and 4. I mean negative 45 and negative 4. Why am I saying that? So basically the rule, if you really want to know why I was able to know that that those two numbers, that when I multiply I'll get 180, and then when I add it's going to be minus 49. If you really want to know, you just list down the factors of 180. Yes, so now among the factors you find, so let's say I have 10. Let's assume here is 10, right? So I'll list down the factors of 10. I have 1, 2, 5, and 10. And let's assume was, let's say, 12, right? So now, no, 7. Let's assume here was 7. Instead of 49, it was 7. So now you have minus 7, right? So now I ask myself, among what are the factors of 10? 1, 2, 5, and 10. So now you pair them. The factors I have to multiply to get 10, they are 1 and 10, and then 2 and 5, right? So now you ask yourself, can I add or subtract this one to get minus 7? And this one, there's no way. But with this one, you are going to get, because you can say, let me take, of course, okay, so here you can say, let me take minus 2 and then minus 5. So that when I add minus 2 plus minus 5, I'm going to get minus 7. And then when I multiply minus 2 times negative 5, I'm going to get positive 10, which so don't worry, I will do a separate video. But for now, we are coming from junior high school, so we must know how to do that. So let me move on. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so I have b squared minus 45b minus 4b plus 180 is equal to 0. Yes, so I can take this and take that, right? So here I can say I can factorize b out, and I've taken this one and I'm factorizing it. And then I want to take this one and then I also factorize it separately, right? That's how we go about it. Okay, let's move on. So I factorize b out, and now I'll start that b times b will give me b squared minus, and then 45b divided by this will be 40. So that one, I will get b squared minus 45b. So we are just grouping like terms. The same happens here. You can say, oh, let the common factor be -4, right? So here I have b. Now 4 goes into 180 how many times? 45. Add that -4 multiply the negative, you will get positive 180, right? So we can also factorize this out. It's common, so you can factorize this out. So we factorize b minus 45 out, and then we are left with what? B minus 4. Okay, it's equal to 0. It's equal to 0. Yes, so we say, so we now we have in mathematics, when you have AB is equal to 0, it means two numbers are multiplying and their final answer is equal to 0. What does it tell you? There is no way you can multiply two numbers to get 0 unless either one of the numbers is 0 or all of them are 0. For instance, you can multiply 7 by any number other than 0 for you to get 0. It should be 7 times 0 to give you 0 or 0 times 0 to give you 0. So that's the idea we use in quadratic equations. So here we say either b minus 45 is equal to 0 or b minus 4 is equal to 0, which means this equation is only valid when any of these conditions are satisfied. So both of them would also be satisfied, right? So if b minus 45 is equal to 0, then let's find what value of b will give us 0. So this one, just simple equation, b minus 45 is equal to 0. Therefore, b is equal to, we send this one here, 45, right? And if b minus 4 is also equal to 0, then it means b should be 4 for b minus, so it's more like 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. 45 minus 45 is equal to 0. So we have b is equal to 45 or 4, right? So now, and remember, equation 3. Equation 3. Let's look at equation 3. Equation 3 says a is equal to 180 over b. So let's see. Equation 3 says, from equation 3, we say a is equal to 180 over b. So now, b, we've gotten two values for b. We are saying b is either 45 or 4. So you say if b is equal to 45, what will happen to a? A will be equal to 180 over 45, giving us 4. And now, if b is equal to 4, because we have two values for b, it's either this or that, then a is equal to 1 over. Remember from equation 3, we saw that AB is equal to 180, and then we made A the subject, and we had A is equal to 180 over B. So if B is equal to 4, we have 180 over 4, which is giving us 45, right? So now, you can say then, let A equal to the bigger one, and then B equal to the 4, right? Yes. So now, we were being asked, this was the question, positive square root of 49 minus 12 root 5. And then we said the answer is going to give us an expression of the form root of a minus root of b. Now that we've been able to solve for a and then b, let's put where we see a, let's put the value there. So we get square root of 45 minus square root of 4. So this is our final answer for this question, the positive square root of this. But note, as someone who has mastered cell, from the start of this video, I said that anytime you have a cell, make sure you have reduced it to its basic form. So ask yourself, is this cell in its basic form? No, it's not in its basic form. In fact, square root of 4 is not a cell. So let's send it set to its basic form. So with 45, I think we are going 5 times 9, then minus square root of 4 is 2. Here we are dealing with positive square root, right? Now, this is the same as square root of 5 times square root of 9 minus 2. What is square root of 9? 3. And 3 times root of 5 is what? 3 root 5 minus 2. So now this becomes our final answer. Therefore, the positive square root of 49 minus 12 root 5 is equal to this one. Yes, I know this is quite tricky, but take your time, go through the video. This is longer than expected. Yeah, I was supposed to make it short, but then for you to understand, you are going this extra mile. I know that you've not been able to solve more examples from my teaching, so please, I will make a video and then solve a lot of questions. That video will be purposely for whatever we've done. From I will teach you tricks, shortcuts, and the rest. So stay tuned. Do subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, and see you in the next video. I'll definitely make a video where we are solving more examples. Don't miss that one out because I'm going to teach you tricks and all that to solve it. Have a nice day. Bye.